Hello. This is Jen with Jen's Den Art, and I am here today to share a great, fun tutorial with all of you. And let me make sure I have my microphone on before I get started. All right, I think I have my microphone ready. Come on in, everyone, and say hello when you get here. This is Jen with Jen's Den Art. I'm so excited to be here with all of you today. It is officially flannel season in my house. Don't y'all have a flannel season? Flannel season, where you get to wear all your flannels every day. Hello, Miss Judith. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming in today. I really appreciate it, and I am looking forward to sharing a great tutorial with all of you that I think you will definitely enjoy. These colors I did not put out yet, so I'm going to put these right here. I'm trying to get everything set up for us so I'm not too unorganized, because that happens a lot. Come on in and say hello when you get here. Hello. Yay. Hi, Miss Janet. How are you? I am glad you're so excited to get started, Miss Judith. Hello, Miss Melina. So I am streaming today in two different places. I'm streaming on my business page, Facebook, and I'm also streaming on my YouTube page. Okay, so some of you may see some comments in one area and the other area as well. All right, yay. Hi, I am good. I am very excited because my son from Montana is traveling today, and he's coming to spend today? Well, he's not going to be here till tonight. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, he's spending 4 days here. I'm so excited. We haven't seen him in a while, so I'm very, very excited. All right, so I am going to bring this down right here so you can see what I'm doing. Y'all, I don't have an original of this painting, but I do have a picture that I will bring up on the screen so y'all can see what we're going to be doing today. This is super fun. It's one of the most popular pieces that I sell in my Etsy shop, besides my my stacked pumpkins, my stacked pumpkin tags. I sell a lot of those as well. So you know that not only, for those of you who are new, or maybe some of you already know this, not only do I have an Etsy store where I sell my original pieces and prints and stuff like that, I also have a painting membership where we paint acrylic paintings in all different levels. We do fun little crafty type things like this. And we also, let me see if I can get it. Yeah. And then we also do like more of the fine art type paintings as well. There are over 300 tutorials in my membership right now. And every week we're doing something new and exciting. So if you're interested in coming in and joining us, just let me know, and I can send you the link to find out what we're all about. But for now, we are going to have some fun today, and we are going to paint together on this little tag. All right, I'm going to share with you the information that you would need if you wanted to do something like this. Now, this piece that I have right here, this was a handmade piece by the Jen's Den art team, aka my husband Michael. Okay, and what he does is we buy these pieces of wood. They are solid pine wood, okay, and they're thick. They're what, about a half inch, almost an inch thick. You can buy things similar to this at like the Dollar Tree or something like that. Like you can go there and they're already cut out for you. But these are, hello everyone. I'm so glad y'all are here. Hey, Paula and Sue and Connie. Yay. So glad y'all are here. So there's tags are really popular right now. You can use them as ornaments. You can use them as shelf sitters, like they actually, they stand up. So you can use them in your tier trays if you do like the 3-tier trays. And you can also add the jute. I have my jute over here. So the ones that we make here in the Jen's Den Art Shop, let me show you this. The ones that we make in the Jen's Den Art Shop, they come with a piece of jute for you to add and put. They come with the little hole already, and then they'll come with a piece of jute also for you to do whatever you want with these. Okay. So what we're painting today is we're going to do a nativity scene. And I do have a tracer as well. I'm going to show you. This is what the tracer looks like. Okay, this is what the tracer looks like. I am not going to use a tracer today. I'm actually going to show you how to just sketch it or draw it with a paintbrush. And we are going to get started. So you can use this. You can use this pattern on anything that you want. You do not have to, you don't have to use these wooden pieces here. So let me go ahead and get myself situated here and get started. The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need to know what we're using. Okay, what we're using here is this little piece of wood block. I started painting on it and then I stopped and I said, oh, I better wait until I go live and I'll do everything. Okay. A couple of paintbrushes, just like a flat brush, and then something kind of small like this, like a little, either an angle brush or a flat brush, and either a liner brush or a Posca pen, which I'm going to use the black Posca pen today on this. And then if you want to add the glittery part to it that I have, it's basically some of that snow, that fake snow that has the glistening, the glitter snow. And then I just use a little bit of Mod Podge to put matte Mod Podge or Mod Podge matte to put on that to just keep it, in place. So that is basically all you need if you're going to be painting this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start off with just some Payne's Gray. Okay, so the first paint color I'm going to use is a Payne's Gray. It's basically like a navy blue, okay, because I want this to look kind of like a nighttime background. So to get a navy blue, you're just going to use some blue and some black, and that's going to give you a really pretty blue. It doesn't have to be Payne's Gray. Okay, so we're just going to paint this whole thing, the sides and everything. We're going to paint it all our pretty blue. And I didn't do anything to the tag before I started painting on it. Basically what I'm saying is, some people ask me, like, do you have to seal the wood before you paint on it? No. You do not. If you seal the wood, you can use like a, oh darn it, I'm having trouble with my words today. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember the name of it. The gesso. I am having a lot of trouble today. I am still, I guess, trying to wake up. I've been having a headache for 3 days, and I don't know why. So maybe that's part of my problem. So I'm just going to paint all of this blue. But if you put a layer of gesso over everything, it just kind of seals it. It's just basically like a sealer. And I'm going to paint the back as well, because you never know. Maybe you want to use the back to have like a reversible tag. So I'm going to, and it just looks better. It looks complete when you just make sure that everything is painted and there's no areas that are just unfinished, so it just gives it a better finished look. And the wood that I'm using here it's not that smooth. So what I'm doing with my paintbrush is I'm dipping it in the water, and it's making it a lot more watery. It's making my paint a lot more watery. So it's allowing everything to be absorbed into the wood some. And I like to use the wood like that. I love painting on wood because of that. I like the way that it absorbs, and I just like the look of wood. Maybe there's something you don't know about me. I am a vintage old junkie. Everything in my house is vintage and old. And, you know, my daughter and I love to go to flea markets. So anytime I can find anything old and used that I like, and even to paint on, I buy like old, I love to paint on like old cabinet doors and things like that, and it's so much fun. All right, so my first layer is done. All I did was put a blue down, and I am going to move my face out of this camera. All right, that should be better for y'all, so y'all can see a little bit more. Let me get this right. I think that's better. All right, there we go. It should be a little better. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the next color that we're going to use. I've already put my colors on my palette here. I'm going to go to brown. Okay, I'm going to go to burnt umber. And so what I'm going to do now is I am just going to take a kind of like a medium size paintbrush. Okay, something like this. That's about the width of what I want my brown to be. I'm going to take a little bit of white and put in my brown, maybe a little bit of yellow as well. And so I'm going to make my brown a little bit lighter. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start painting over the top to make it look like I'm basically making like my nativity house. Okay, so I'm going to just use a dark brown. Any kind of dark brown that you have will do just fine. And then I'm going to come down on the sides here, right about here. I'm just going to make a straight line all the way down. And then I'm going to do another one on this side. And then even at the top, I'm going to just add a little, like a little roof up here. So it's really simple, just a lot of straight lines. That's all we're doing right now. Just a lot of straight lines. But notice something else that I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit of a variety of colors. So a little bit of a darker brown, a little bit of a lighter brown. And what that does, y'all, whenever you add the variety of colors, it gives your piece more dimension, and it takes away that flatness of a basic painting style. It gives it more movement. It makes it look like it's a little bit 3D. Okay, so let's see if I'm going to check my comments. What is my preferred brand of paint? So Denise wants to know what's my preferred brand of paint. So my preferred brand, because I do paint fine art paintings with acrylics, is Golden. I do like Golden, and I like all the different kinds. I like the heavy body. I like the what is it called? I have it right here. The fluid. I like the fluid acrylics. I love Golden. They have some wonderful, wonderful pigments in Golden paints. So I do buy a pretty good variety. I also use Liquitex. Liquitex is one that I do use sometimes as well. But if you just paint for, maybe you just paint like I don't know, maybe you just paint for fun, okay? And it's just a part of your crafting. Like you have to paint things white or paint things black first or something like that. Your basic craft paints are going to do the job for you. They're just not going to have the pigment that your professional paints do, and they're going to be more transparent. So you're just going to have to put a few more layers and think they're a lot more watery as well. But they're going to do the job. They're going to do the job for you. Can you make the painting screen? I think I did that. I think I read it. I just read that. But where do we find the template? Okay, so in the directions at the top, you should be able to find the link. If not, I'm going to send it to y'all. I already emailed it out to all of my email subscribers. If you already follow me and you're on my email list already, then you got the template and you got the link to the video already. Let's get this right. Nativity. There we go. Let me get the link for you again, and I'll put it in the comments right here. Okay, so there's the link to the template if you would like the template. Okay, so I'm just kind of letting this dry and talking to y'all as we go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on our Mary and Joseph. And I'm going to use this paintbrush to do that. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take a little bit of white paint and I'm going to make just the outline of Mary by, you know what, I'm going to go a little bit taller by just making a big white, basically almost like a rectangle, and then right at the top I'm just going to curve it right there. And I'm going to do the same thing for Joseph. Now he's going to be taller, so I'm going to bring him over here. And I'm starting with white because I want to have a base. I want to have a color that is going to be easy to paint on, because that dark navy blue is kind of hard to paint on and get your colors to show. So if I come first with a layer of white, it makes it a lot easier. Okay. And while I'm in that, I'm going to make my wood stand out a little bit more. I feel like it's not quite light enough. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. Now, right now, it looks like I have two ghosts, but I promise you, I'm not painting ghosts today. I know it's close to Halloween, but we are not painting ghosts today. Okay. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to clean that off. And I'm going to come back. You can already see how that white kind of, once it dries, it kind of gets dark, and you still see that navy blue through there, but that's okay. We're going to start covering that up. So I'm going to use, I want kind of like a blue for Mary. So I'm going to use a turquoise and a light blue. Because, you know, when I was younger and where did my light blue go? I know I just had it. Oh, here it is. When I was younger and I went to a Catholic school growing up, and when we had, for Christmas Eve, we would go to church and we would have the angels, like we'd walk down the aisle. I was an angel, And we had Mary and Joseph, and we'd carry the baby to the front of the altar and all that good stuff. Well, our Mary always had a baby blue robe on. And so I know that my Mary is always going to be in a light blue robe. So when I painted this for the first time, I was like, you know what? That's going to be the perfect robe color for Mary. So I'm going to use a really light blue. And I'm going to come around and just put a little bit of that light blue on each side. And then I'm also going to make a little wrap around her head right here. And then the other color that I'm going to use on her is like a turquoise, kind of like a greenish blue. Just a little bit more on the green side. And that's going to be the color of her robe. So I'm just going to pass that color down here. And you're going to be able to see a lot of the dimension when we add the black lines. Okay. So that's what I have so far. And we're going to come back and make the flesh color in just a little bit. Now let's go to Joseph. And I want his robe to be a darker green color. So I'm going to take my green, and my green is like a sap green. It's kind of like a dark green. But I'm going to add just a little bit of red to it. Just a little bit of red and a little bit of white. And when I use the white, it's going to make it a lot lighter. And then that red, what that red does is it kind of calms down the green and makes it have more of a kind of a brownish green tone. Because red and green are complementary colors to one another. So when you use those two colors together, if you use the same amount, you're going to get a kind of like a brownish color, brownish gray color. All right, so I like that color a lot. And that's going to be in the middle right there. And I'm going to clean my paintbrush off. Clean my paintbrush off. And then I'm going to come back with some more white just for another layer. Okay. Up at the top, he's going to have a little wrap. And then just going to add just a little bit more white on the sides. Okay, so now they don't look quite as much like Ghost, but I still need to work on them a little bit. Let's get a flesh color. Okay, so to get a flesh color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some brown and some red and some green and some yellow. Basically, your three major colors, your three primary colors, red, yellow, and brown. And I'm just going to keep on mixing them together. Unless you have a peach color in your stash, then you can use that. But I'm just going to mix mine. And so it's basically just red, blue, and yellow. And see how I made that flesh color. I did add a little bit of brown because I wanted it to be a little bit darker. Okay, so my flesh color there is going to come in here. I'm just going to make like a little oval. To make the face. And I'm going to do the same thing here on Mary. Just make a little oval. Okay, so far so good. All right, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the baby Jesus in his little crib down here. And this is super easy. Now, if your painting is still wet, I would suggest that you just let it dry. Go ahead and dry it. Acrylic paints dry really fast, y'all, so you don't really have to wait a long time to get that dryness. So I'm going to use the brown again. And this is going to be very easy. It's not hard at all. That's why I'm not even using a template. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big X right here with this brown paint. I'm just going to make a big X. Okay, so that's the beginning. And then, you know what, I'm going to change my paintbrush because this paintbrush is a little bit too pointed for what I want to do. Let me go ahead and use one that's got a little bit more of a flat tip to it like this. And I'm going to go into the brown again. And I'm going to fill up my paintbrush with some brown. And I'm just going to push down and then pull up and make some little like hay bales coming out. So I feel like it needs to be a little lighter, so I'm going to add some yellow to it. And the yellow that I'm using, by the way, is called Naples yellow. It's a really almost like an off-white color. And I'm going to add a little bit of it right here. Let me add a little bit more of that yellow. I feel like I need that pretty yellow in here, just a little bit. So tell me, how many of y'all paint? How many of y'all actually do painting as one of your hobbies? I'd love to know. All right, so that's where we are so far. Coming along pretty good. I'm going to take a little moment to dry. Just beginning. Miss Betty says she is just beginning to paint. Let me bring this a little closer so I can see it a little bit. And I'll hold it up. Thank you, Miss Pat. Wanting to get started on painting. I figure this is a great place to start. Angela, you are exactly in the right place. Rhonda says she is a painter. Yay. I don't have time, but I like to do it. Denise says, years ago I did toll painting. I often incorporate painting as my craft. I absolutely love to paint. And I find that the older I get, the more I love to paint on unique things like old saws and old cabinet doors and old pieces of wood and stuff like that. I love painting on something that's a little unique. Well, good. I'm so glad y'all paint because it is my therapy, actually. I suffer with anxiety and depression over the last probably 20 years. And it is just, my husband will tell me, he'll be like, when he works from home now, but when he used to go to work and he would come home in the evening and he'd get home at like 5 or 6 in the evening, he would say, "You must have painted a painting today." I'm like, "How did you know?" He said, "Because you're in a good mood." Not that I'm in a bad mood when I'm not painting, but he said, you're in like an extra good mood tonight. I was like, yes, I was able to relax and have some, and whenever your painting comes out good, you're like, you really feel good about it, so it's just super fun. The best part about it is the point of all of the creativity that you did not know that you had in you that comes out. Don't y'all find that? It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. That's the best part about painting, because you are, to me, that's just like the golden ticket of being a painter. No one else's piece is going to look like yours. Everyone's going to be unique. And that, to me, that makes my heart so full, is because you were able to find you were able to grab deep into your soul and bring out that creativity in your own style, just like someone's handwriting. Everyone has their own style of handwriting. Well, everyone has their own style of painting as well. And as hard as you can try to paint like somebody else, it's not going to work. You can take lessons and see how they painted, but when you put your hand and your paintbrush on that canvas, it's still going to come out completely different. And that is it's just a magical thing to me, because you're really tapping into something that you did not know that you had inside of you. And I'm just really passionate about that. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm taking some yellow and I'm making my star, and I'm using the side of this flat brush. Now let me come in closer so y'all can see. You know what? I could probably do this instead. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I just made a straight line up and down, and I'm really focusing on the tips to be a little more pointed. And then I'm going to dig back into the paint, the yellow paint. And I don't want to get this messed up. This is still wet down here. And I'm going to do the same thing across, straight across. And I want to make the center a little wider. And then on the edges, I want it to be more pointed. And then I'm going to make an X. I'm going to make an X across the center. So I'm going to go like this and then like this. So I'm just making an X. And the ends of my X are not as long as the ends of my horizontal line and my vertical line. The ends of my X stop a little sooner. And so what I'm going to do now is I could probably let me use a liner brush so y'all can see better. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the center and I'm going to make it just a little bit wider on each one of these lines. So I'm pulling from the center and I'm pulling my paint out so it looks more like a star. That's pretty good. Let's make this one. Okay, I like it so far. All right, we did not put our baby Jesus down here yet. I was trying to let some of this dry first, and I see that this is still wet. So for our baby Jesus, this is super easy. I'm going to take a dabble of white, on my paintbrush, and I'm just going to make like an oval, kind of to the left side of his crib. And I'm just going to fill that in with white. And then on the right side, I'm going to go back into that that peach color, that flesh color. And I'm going to add a little circle right there. And there we go. We have a baby Jesus. Now we're gonna kind of spruce this up a little bit because we don't want him to look like he's floating on top of our little manger. So you can come back in and add maybe a little bit more. Maybe you want it to look like there's some hay coming down like this. Just make some of the hay come out. All right. Super cute. Can y'all see that okay? That looks super cute. All right. He almost looks like he has a nose and eyes, doesn't he? Because of the wood. I think it's cute. All right. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to make some little Christmas trees on the side. And so I'm going to use my green. And I'm going to take my green on my paintbrush. I'm going to fill it up on my paintbrush. I'm going to let y'all see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm taking my green. And I'm just really filling it up a lot. I'm pulling a little bit of that dark green. It's almost black and it's too dark. So I'm going to add some lime green into it and make it just a little lighter. Look how much paint I have on my paintbrush. It's a lot. And then this is super easy as well. I'm just going to make kind of like some little commas. I'm going to start up here and I'm just going to pull and pull and pull just a little bit off of the sides. I'm just kind of making just like a comma over and over again. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now my comma is going to be in the opposite direction. So I'm going to make this one a little bit taller. So I'm just going to pull. See how cute that is? And then if you want, which I do, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab some more paint. I'm going to keep that going. Excuse me. I'm going to keep that going a little bit off on the sides. And I'm going to grab some more paint. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And there is my little Christmas tree. And then I feel like it's a little light, so a little dark. So I'm going to come back with a little more of a lighter color. I just added some more of the lime green on my paintbrush. And that happens because my green is too transparent. My green paint is too transparent. So I'm going to have to make sure that I go a little bit lighter with my green. And then up here, I'm just going to add a little bit of like maybe some mistletoe or just some fun greenery, just for the fact of we just love green and red for Christmas, and we want a little bit more fun in our painting. So just going to tap, 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 tap. And then I'm going to dry this. I'm going to use my little, well, you know what? I'm not going to dry yet. Let me show you a little trick, and then we'll dry it all together, and then we'll work on it a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to take the back side of my paintbrush, and I have some red here that I'm going to use. I'm going to tap into the red. I'm going to take the back side of my paintbrush and put some red on the back of it. And I'm going to make some little balls. Those are kind of big. Make them a little smaller. I'm going to make some little ornaments come down the sides. See how much fun this is? I love doing stuff like this. I love painting fine art paintings, but I also love doing little crafts like this as well. So I do both. And then you can come on the sides if you want to. You can add some more. How cute is that? All right, and we're going to add a little bit more fun to this. I'm not ready to dry it just yet. This is just a little addition that I'm going to do. I'm going to spray it just a teeny bit with some paint. And what I mean is I'm going to take a paintbrush. And you may want to, I know some people like to use like a toothbrush. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some white paint on it, and I'm going to make it really, really watery. And I'm going to take that and I'm just going to sprinkle it. I'm just flicking it in the background, and I'm making it look like stars. I probably should have done that from the beginning, but it's no big deal because it can almost look like snow if you want it to, and it can be like everywhere. So we have a little bit of sprinkly. If you don't do that, you can always, I'm going to do a little bit more. If you don't do that, you can always just take the end of your paintbrush again and just kind of come back here and take your white paint and just make some little stars like that. And then the other thing that I have, I'm going to go ahead and dry right now. Yes, Miss Tracy, you're gonna have, it's gonna stay up on my Facebook page. So we will be able to have access to the replay. Okay. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a fun, fun painting. Just a little bit left. Okay, so here's a couple more ideas for you. One is this. We're gonna take a Posca pen, and this is actually gonna make a huge difference in the final product. Okay, we're gonna take this Posca pen, and we're just gonna come in here, and we're just gonna start. You can start wherever you want, but I'm just gonna start on Miss Mary here, and I'm just gonna just kind of outline her, and I'm going to go around baby Jesus, make some little black marks in there. And you can do a lot or a little. Just try not to overdo it. And that just kind of adds a little bit of dimension to the whole piece. You can even go like this on the edge. I find it's kind of dark. Like I might make sure that I come back in and like the background, I find the background is kind of dark. Maybe I should have used a little bit less blue and a little bit more of like a light blue back there. But for the most part, it's pretty darn cute. I'm not going to do too much up here, just maybe a few little. I can outline that. Okay, I like that. It's looking super cute. I'm not going to do anything to the star. You could put, here's some different options that I'm going to show you. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this like a snowy, glittery pack of, if I can open my Mod Podge, I'm going to use the Mod Podge with a clean paintbrush. And I'm just going to put a little bit over it. But you can also, maybe you could use like, maybe you want to use some metallic. That's a lot of Mod Podge, y'all. Maybe I don't need that much. You can use maybe some metallic paint, some metallic gold paint or silver or something like that. I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on this right there. I know that's a lot. I'm not a Mod Podge expert at all. I mostly just do acrylic painting. So when I start venturing into all of these extra little crafty additional pieces, I usually end up messing them up because they're not my forte. All right, I'm going to sprinkle some of this in there. And then I'm just going to take my paintbrush and just kind of press it down. And then eventually it's going to dry, and it's going to dry clear. And when it dries clear, how cute is that? And then when it dries clear, I'm going to show y'all again what the final product is going to look like. It's going to be more like this. Okay, see how cute that is? But this one's eventually going to look like that. I want you to notice something else that I did on this one. It looks a lot lighter. And one of the things that I did is I took my sander, and after it's completely dry and ready to be packaged up and all that good stuff, I took my sander and I sanded the edges. I'm not going to do that right here because everything's still wet. And so when you sand the edges like that, you get an additional dimension that you add. See that? You can see the color of the original wood showing through on the original. And so it kind of frames it out for you and gives it a little bit more of a lightness. Then you take your jute and you put your jute in here however you want, and you have just the cutest ornament ever, or tag, or whatever you want to do with it. And then on the back, you could do something else on the back, or you could write someone's name, Christmas 2023, whatever you want. It's a really fun project, and it's actually one of my most popular projects for Christmas that people like. So I highly encourage you to try it and share it with us in my free Facebook group. I have a free Facebook group that we have over 10,000 people in there that paint with us on our free paintings and post their paintings in there when they have them. And guys, I really, really want to encourage you. I'm going to put the link in here. I really encourage you to come and join us in our tribe or our mini tribe and start painting with us. It's so much fun. We pray at the end of our lives. My husband is our prayer warrior. He's usually on the lives with us, helping me with the comments. We have great fun, and we're like family. We all know each other. Like, we pretty much know each other personally almost. So yeah, we have a great time in there. I highly encourage you to do this and have some fun and make a bunch of them for a bunch of gifts, or sell them, or whatever you want to do. I give you full permission to do whatever you want to do with this. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I want to thank you for being here. I would love for you to sprinkle and share with your friends so they can see how much fun we have and what we're doing. And I'm going to look really quick and see if we have any questions before Miss Shirley. That's okay. Thank you for letting me know though, because sometimes that happens and I'm like, why did somebody give me a mean face? Miss Shirley said she accidentally gave a mean face. That is so nice for you to let me know. So, okay, I don't see any questions. So, if you need to find this video again, just go to Jen's Den Art, and at the top, you will see an area that says Lives. And if you hit the live, it'll bring up all of my live videos right there in chronological order. So, I hope y'all enjoy this. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.